Hey guys, welcome to my first episode of Kiss My Ash. I'm really excited to be doing this and also have no idea what I'm doing, so bear with me. I'm really excited that y'all chose his name too, because it was my fantasy football name a few years ago when I actually was good at fantasy football, so I feel like it's a good omen to bring this name to my podcast. So you'll notice that I've got some ugly artwork in the back. I'm currently in Murphy, North Carolina. And if you don't know where Murphy is, it is you fly into Chattanooga and then you drive 2 hours on the side of a mountain and then you're in somewhere in North Carolina. So I'm here for work and I did not die even though it was like pouring rain the whole time we were driving. Anyways, beside the point. So I just wanted to film something quick and to talk about why I wanted to do this and what I hope to get from this. And obviously I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done a podcast or done videos or anything like that, so bear with me. And I know a lot of you expressed interest in that you would actually listen to me talk, and it's pretty fucking cool. Disclaimer, probably shouldn't have children watch this because I do like to say fuck a lot, so sorry mom. Anyways, I wanted to do this because, as you guys know, I'm a therapist and absolutely love my job, but I've also experienced some really interesting things in my life because I'm a therapist, and I think people forget that I'm a normal human being too, and that I'm not like analyzing everyone I meet. And so I just thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about like what's it like to be a therapist but also to be a normal human being, and that is in regards to dating, to friendships, to just normal everyday life. So that's what I was really hoping to get out of this. So I guess here goes nothing. So I guess a little bit about me for anyone who's watching and does not know who I am. So my name is Ashlyn, and grew up in Dayton, Ohio. And I feel like a lot of my personality comes from my Midwestern, Northern upbringing. A lot of people in Texas don't understand my sass. People up north totally understand my sass, so love it. I've lived in Texas though since I was 16, so 15 years this year, which is crazy to think about that I've actually lived in Texas longer than anywhere else in my life. And it's, you know, I still can't get used to the summers, even though I've lived here for 15 years. Still hate every summer that it's 100 and some degrees. But it's cool. I'm like making a cool living near my family at the moment. Deciding what I want to do for the rest of my life. I currently travel for work. I actually go around to clinics across the country. The company I work for, we own a bunch of methadone clinics, which is super awesome considering that we have this like huge opioid epidemic happening, and there's a lot of people that need services. So what I do, I fly around like Murphy, North Carolina, and I train the counselors on, you know, how to help people, and it's really fun, really rewarding. But as you can imagine, I encounter a lot of crazy shit. I also have this like thing where everyone who sits next to me on the plane wants to ask what I do for a living, and then I have to be like, oh, I'm a corporate trainer, because if you start to tell someone that you're a therapist or you work for treatment centers, then they immediately get awkward as fuck. But sometimes I like to spice it up and be like, dude, I work for a company that owns a bunch of treatment centers, you know, for substance use, and I train counselors, and then they go, oh, I'm sorry I asked. But I mean, I guess whatever, people have their opinions. So I guess another part of this show, podcast, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, want to bring education and awareness to what I do, because I love my job and I want people to understand the reality of addiction and, you know, the people that I work with, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about it. So this show is probably gonna be all over the fucking place, and sorry, but not sorry. So anyways, what should I talk about today? I feel like some of the things that have happened recently that really got me thinking about this show is I've been single for almost a year now, and I've experienced a lot of interesting potential suitors that are not really potential. And it's always interesting to tell someone that you're starting to talk to what you do for a living, because multiple things happen, right? They either immediately want to tell you their deepest, darkest, saddest fucking story ever, and then be like, so what does that mean? What should I do about it? You should get a therapist. Not me, unless you want to pay me lots of money. Or I get people that just say off the wall shit, like, yeah, one time I thought about killing my cat, and then I like don't know if I should like alert the authorities or what. And then they ask me what their diagnosis is. Like, I'm gonna be like, you're a sociopath. So anyways, it's been interesting, and I've currently deleted all of my dating apps because I like have very minimal capacity right now to deal with that crap. Most recently, I've had a lot of men kind of like emotionally vomit on me and then try to say that I didn't support them enough. And keep in mind, I've never met these men. I never even made it to like first date stage because, yeah, I'm sure you can imagine. So there's that. So I'll probably have a whole episode about all my dating adventures over the years, not just even recently, but you know, Tinder and Bumble and all of those cesspool of apps is just, I don't know how people fucking date anymore. Like, I'm not trying to meet someone at a bar at 2 a.m. after they're like hammered drunk. I don't really hang out at coffee shops because I'm like fucking traveling all the time. So if you guys have advice on how to meet normal people that are also single and also not crazy, then holler at your girl. I guess another thing is, you know, I feel like people know that I'm a therapist even if I never say anything, and so like I'll be at the grocery store checking out looking busted as shit because, you know, I just woke up and needed some tissues, and then they want to tell me their life story, like, oh my god, I can't wait to get off because like my granddaughter is celebrating a year of being cancer free, which is awesome. Like, I love hearing those stories, but I'm also like, what? I'm just trying to buy these tissues. I'm not trying to like cry in Walmart right now. So I've been analyzing that and what I'm doing that makes people want to like just spew their guts, right? Apparently my northern sass, my resting bitch face, has kind of calmed down, so I need to like really ramp that up. Another thing that I feel like has really kind of motivated this is friendships are hard too. I think even as an adult, how do you really like make lasting connections that aren't surrounded, or I guess centered by like drinking or partying? And, you know, realizing that some of those friendships I had have kind of like faded, which is cool. You know, I'm not trying to hold on to some superficial stuff, but you know, the friends that I do have, how I've managed to try and set boundaries with them that, yeah, you know, from like 7:30 in the morning until sometimes 7 p.m. I might be like therapist at, but when I'm home or when I'm with friends that I just like want to be my fucking self, and I don't know, that's been hard too. Plus, you know, since I do travel for work, I have a lot of funny stories. I feel like I've learned a lot of pet peeves that I have about traveling. Like, flying is the fucking worst. The worst. Today, I was on a plane, you know, again, keep in mind I drove on the side of a mountain for 2 hours to get to my hotel, but it was literally the smallest plane I've ever been on, like one seat on each side, and lots of turbulence, and yet people still manage to make the process of getting on a tiny plane really long and really hard, and it's really frustrating. And the ticket counter lady, so because the plane was so small, we had to valet our luggage. So they give you a little tag and you stick it at the end of the tarmac or whatever it's called, and then you pick it up afterwards, because the overhead space is not big enough to support rolling luggage. Anyways, she wouldn't give me a tag until I showed her my luggage, even though it was like off to the side, like right there. I had to literally like hand her my luggage. So it was weird. But then again, she works at the airport, and I can only imagine how miserable that job is. So yeah. And then of course, you know, I'm not VIP status or anything like that yet. No, like group 1, I'm still like group 6, which is practically the end. But people literally push in front of you to get in line when they're like group 10 or whatever. And then when you're like, excuse me, I'm ahead of you, I'm trying to get in line, then they give you attitude. Like, bro, calm down. We have assigned seats. It's not like I'm flying Southwest and I have to like pick out my seat. Like, we have assigned seats. And they're valeting our luggage, so we don't even have to worry about this like overhead space. So that's interesting. But it's not all so bad, you know? Like, I have gotten to travel to some pretty cool places I've never been to before. A couple weeks ago, I was in Salt Lake City, Utah, and it was the most beautiful place I've ever been. The more I think about it, I don't know if I'd actually live there, because I don't do any activities that involve snow. You know, like I've never skied or snowboarded or any of that stuff, so it's cool to like go and look at the mountains, but it's kind of also cool to go home. You know, then last week I was in Vermont, which again was a very, very beautiful place, but also I swear that the state, it's like in this state of like pilgrims landed and colonized, and that's all that's ever happened. And I know I tweeted that last week, so I'm stealing my own little joke to say on here, but it was the most bizarre thing. It's like mountains, and then like a farm, and then you go and it's just more mountains, and then another farm, and then like a hotel, and then like a methadone clinic. I don't know. I don't even know how people live there. I don't know what they do for jobs. They also have bear crossing signs and moose crossing signs, and I was like having this like inner dialogue in my head of like, what would I do if a bear started crossing the road? Like, I get that I'm in a car and I can drive away, but also this like feeling of like, what the fuck, you know, crossed my mind. So it was an interesting experience, needless to say. So yeah, it's a fun, interesting job. You know, I still have a couple clients to see that stayed with me from Austin, and so that's cool. And I'm hoping to really build a practice up in the Dallas area, maybe. You know, see more people. Right now, travel's really busy, so we'll see about that. So, anyways, these are all the things that kind of have been swimming in my mind for a while. Of like, I want an outlet to kind of share my funny stories, because I feel like I can't make some of this shit up. I just really can't. And also as a way to like tell my people what's up. You know, I feel like I want to have a whole kind of episode on like etiquette on how to treat your therapist friends, because again, I don't know how many times I can say it. It's like, we're fucking human beings too. And while I will, like, I'm a ride or die kind of friend, I will show up in the middle of the night if you need something, but also I don't only want to hear about your problems. Like, I got problems too, you know, like hashtag single for life over here. And I want to be able to talk about that. And I'm sure my other therapist friends feel the same way, and we're all just so fucking nice that we don't even know how to tell that to people. We're just like, oh yeah, sure, vent about your ex-boyfriend that you broke up 10 years ago, but yeah, tell me why he's such a dick and why you're mad at him. So, anyways, I'm to the point where I'm just rambling now, and this is just supposed to be an introduction video so I can get something out there, because I'm so excited about this. So yeah, I think that's all I have for today because I didn't plan this very well. I was literally on the plane today trying to think of like all of the funny and cool things I wanted to say, and now I've just rambled for 15 minutes about nothing. So yeah, if you have ideas of things that you would like me to talk about because you're curious about what I do or you know what certain experiences are, I encourage you to leave a comment, leave a question. I'm gonna attach my Instagram, whatever name, username, so you can follow me. If you're not already, DM me, ask me questions. If you think that this was cool or intriguing and you want to watch the next show, subscribe, like it, share it. I promise I am going to be working on this all night to try to like perfect what I want this show to look like. And I just wanted to kind of say, you know, like, welcome. I'm really excited about this, and I know I've said that like 30 times already. And I really think that this is my chance to like have a voice in certain things, you know, and we can make it fun because as any single female knows that life is rough out there. And just imagine life as a therapist and being single. It's probably what most of the show is going to be about. So it's been real. I hope you enjoyed 16, 17 minutes of me rambling. Again, like, subscribe, share, whatever you want. And I guess I'll see you next week. So thanks for tuning in to Kiss My Ash.